Hey, job interview! What's up? It's a Culture Detective here investigating your favorite animes, and today I'm going to be doing an anime review. A quick anime review on an anime that I finished watching last night, and that anime is Jigokuraku, or in English, it is Hell's Paradise. It is a manga written by Kagu Yuji, and it is of course adapted into an anime by the one and only, the ultimate animation studio of the 2020s, Mappa Studios. And it is the brand new anime that got released earlier this year. I finished watching it, and it is another shonen seinen action adventure manga, and it is very much in line with what Mappa has been making in the last few years. Funny enough, part of the reason why the manga that is Jigokuraku got made was because Kaku Yuji, the mangaka, was actually the assistant to Fujimoto Tatsuki of Chainsaw Man fame. So, as you can probably expect, there is a huge level of Chainsaw Man influences, or at least that specific kind of seinen sort of influence this work. I mean, this work is literally that exact kind of seinen, so there are not a lot of surprises. Essentially, the plot of Jigokuraku is that we are brought back to the Middle Ages in Japan. We have a bunch of criminals who are sentenced to death, but right before they are sentenced to death, a bunch of samurais take them to an island that is supposedly like a paradise, and they are supposed to find this elixir of life, and if they can find that, they will be pardoned and they will not be sentenced to death. So now we have our main character, Gabimaru, who is a very powerful, very well trained assassin who is sentenced to death, but he loves his wife. He wants to stay alive so that he could go back to his wife. So Sagiri, the samurai, took him to the island, and she's convinced that he is a good person, and together they work together to find the elixir of life in this mysterious, weird island. And yeah, I think the premise is pretty interesting in and of itself. Let's talk about the OPs and EDs first. I think they're just okay. They're very average. There's nothing interesting about the OPs and EDs. They achieve what they're trying to achieve. It's grimy, it's energetic, it's, I guess, what Mappa usually does for OPs and EDs. But what I really like about this anime, however, is the score. I really like the score. It's very mystical and metallic. It's very textured. I love the bits where it gets glitchy and it has these chopped up vocals that are reversed, and it gets really weird and warped, and then there are times where you get these chimes and bells. It's very, very mystical, and I think whoever scored Jigokuraku knows that, hey, this anime has a lot of weird Chinese folklore and folk tale and mythical themes to it, so he introduced a lot of very old mystical feelings to the score, which I really like. Another thing that's really cool about this anime is the animation. It's really colorful, it's very vibrant. I also love the Taoist and Buddhist themes explored in this anime as well. I feel like Taoism is so underrepresented in media because it's such a weird non-religion, if you know what I mean. And yeah, in fact, I have been interested in Taoism and Buddhism for a couple of years now. So, it's cool to see that sort of stuff appear in more stuff, including anime. But the thing with Jigokuraku is that it's not as great as I thought it would be. In fact, I think the anime could have been way, 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 way more interesting. At first, I thought that this would be like Lost, where we have a bunch of random people stuck on an island and it's very mysterious. Maybe they're all there for a reason, but no, it just doesn't have the mystery that is Lost. The island has monsters, it has villains, they fight. That's it. There really isn't that much in terms of lore or even just mystery or intrigue about the island itself at all. As far as the anime concerns, it's just like a regular island, but inhabited with weird monsters, I guess. So nowhere near as good as I thought it would be. Another thing is the main character is just overpowered. Gabimaru is just undefeatable. He cannot die. And he very much establishes that in the beginning. He's a human being, but he's just so strong that he just can't die. So he just can't die. And there is no tension when he fights because I just know that he can't die. But the first few episodes are really good still. Multiple stories happening at once, which I really like. We have Gabimaru and Sagiri having their own character growths, the former of which face his own emotions. Because Gabimaru pretends to be cold-blooded, but he actually has emotions deep inside. And then we have Sagiri dealing with misogyny, which I thought was a very underappreciated concept, especially in anime. So it's really refreshing to see an anime deal with that. We have the brothers who are struggling to survive, and then we have Nurugai and the blind samurai, which is an awesome combo, a great teacher-student relationship. Nurugai is this girl who is from this rural village, so the anime falls into a lot of cliches of her not knowing manners and all that stuff, which is kind of cliche, I guess, but I'll let it slide because it's funny. And of course, we have the character of Yuzuriha, the girl who is subject to everyone's cosplay, apparently. And she's just like a crazy girl. That's her trope. That's the crazy girl. But what I like about her is that she's voiced by none other than Takahashi Rie, who has been having a blast this year because she voiced Ai in Oshinoko, and she also had an amazing performance in Tomoko-chan. And very soon he'll be reviving the role of Megumin for Konosuba Season 3. So Takahashi Rie, awesome. Now, that being said though, the last 4 episodes kind of disappointed me in Jigokuraku. I think they are all very rushed. The last 4 episodes could have been expanded into a whole season, but no, it's just packed into 4 episodes. Starting off on episode 9, we have a fight that is totally avoidable. That's actually the last 5 episodes. Yeah, a fight that's totally avoidable. It doesn't have to happen. The characters are just stupid. And it just started and ended within the span of 10 minutes. And both of the characters didn't die. Like, it's not like a huge fight or anything, but it pretends that it's a huge fight. But it just, I hate to make this comparison, but it just reminds me of Demon Slayer because of how the fights in Demon Slayer are extremely long and they're really brutal. Just when you think a character is winning, the other character pulls another thing out of his pocket and another character does something, and it just gets worse and worse and worse, more and more violent. That's what makes the fights in Demon Slayer so captivating at times, is that they just keep escalating over the course of like 40 minutes, sometimes even more. Sometimes the fights go for like an hour straight, like accumulated. But the fight here is just 10 minutes long. It's like nothing happened. And then there are these power level issues. So we have something called Tensen, who are, again, we have terms like Tensen and Hodai and Eishu and Soshin and Doshi, and these are like the Japanese ways to pronounce Taoist terms, which are in Chinese. So Tensen literally means fairies, and they're ultra powerful beings. But for some reason, they're just way less powerful when Gabimaru is fighting them. It makes sense because Gabimaru is ultra powerful, but with this weird power level change, the fight becomes way less intense and suspenseful. We have episode 10 and 11 where everyone suddenly starts understanding the concept of Tao. So apparently the reason why the Tensens are so powerful is because they have the Tao in them. They have the Tao, the way, you know. If you have studied Chinese philosophy at all, you don't even need to study it. If you've heard of it, Tao, the way. And apparently it's like a fighting thing here. It's a magical system here, and it's like you know, you can use it to fight. And then suddenly everyone starts simultaneously knowing how to use Tao. For some reason, like all the freaking characters suddenly know how to use it. I don't really know why. And episode 11 also has this supposedly emotional moment where Gabimaru understands that strength and weakness should coexist, and it's supposed to be like this huge revelation. but that moment just doesn't feel earned at all. I just don't feel that moved by it or anything. It just had no effect on me. Episode 12, we have the writer introducing another concept, which is how Tao powers oppose each other, they match each other, and it's a weird way to interpret the five elements theory that Taoism has had for centuries already, but again, it's just this randomly introduced new concept that's literally just came out of nowhere, as if we already know that. So yeah, overall, the fighting systems of this anime is not very great, and I just feel like the writer just takes some of the most basic elements of Buddhism and Taoism and just turn it into cool fighting powers without really understanding what they are and how they came to be. So yeah, not great. I would say I like the premise. The first few episodes are awesome. I like the animation, but definitely needs some polishing. I'm feeling a light to decent 7 on this anime. So, have you seen Jigokuraku? Comments below, let me know. Subscribe if you want more, and thanks for watching.